Alright guys, I want to do a quick little video. That's about it, so I can wrap this video up and then we go on with our day. So, let's talk about Toonami's formula. Toonami's formula is not working, and I want to address these issues right now. And I know I want to piss off a lot of people, quote-unquote, SJW, not SJW Kenny, but more like Toonami fans and stuff like that. Where to begin? Now, the ratings came out for Black Clover dub premiere. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good because of many reasons. Even though it came out ahead of time, even though a lot of people don't like it, we can say the same thing about Titch and GXP, but they were, the viewership for it was 900,000. Titch and GXP had a better dub premiere than Black Clover. And a lot of people blame it's the streaming, it's this, it's Netflix, it's this, it's Funimation airing it early, it's Toonami not getting it early, it's many things, but still, regardless of that, it shouldn't even get a rating of 600,000. No dub premiere should get no lower, to me, than 800,000. Just for the first episode. The second episode, I can see it dip off because fans saw it and they're like, that's not for them. But the first episode, no. Even if it aired on Funimation channel, 800,000 is a good enough number. Now, a lot of people say the 18 to 49 demographic is still high. Here's the thing about the 18 to 49 demographic. I think a lot of people need to stop using that as a fucking excuse. That only works for certain shows. Now, for example, Dragon Ball Z, Kai, Dragon Ball, they always rank the top 10. However, Black Clover, JoJo, they don't rank the top 10. But no one wants to bring them up. Oh, well, but Dragon Ball Z is doing well. We're not talking about Dragon Ball Z. If you see my videos, you hear me constantly. Dragon Ball is not the problem with rating-wise. It's the fact that there's a big fallout after Kai. It's always been that since, I don't know, early this April. And it really showed once Attack on Titan. And I said it back then when Attack on Titan came out. I said, Dragon Ball Kai, they have to move this to the back or get rid of it. Because the fallout, or not the fallout, but the drop-off is too big. And I kept saying that for a while. I kept saying that. People kept saying, you're wrong, you don't know anything, you don't know shit, you're wrong, you're wrong. Here we are. Black Clover. Same treatment. Regardless of what you think about the show, there's no way it should have got 600,000. There's no way it should not have been ranked in the top 10. And even people on a certain, like for example, a lot of people are starting to see now, you should go check out ToonamiFaithful.com, and they can't really engage what's going on too, but now they're starting to see the same thing too, saying, yeah, I think Dragon Ball Kai might need to move to the back. Now, I wanted to be removed, because again, I really don't like the final chapters, which I'll do a separate video addressing that, because I think I can actually do a video like that so people can understand my frustration with that one, but I'll talk about that in another video. But it's not working for every other show. Like for JoJo, JoJo never had a big fan base anyway. Even if you look back a year ago, it never did good in the ratings. A lot of people are saying, oh, the only show that does well after Dragon Ball is One Punch Man. And I sat there and I was like, well, yeah, but you have to remember, there was no 2 goddamn Dragon Ball episodes before that. It was only 1. And I'm trying to let people understand. Put it behind Super. Give it a chance. The problem with Toonami's not giving a lot of these other shows a chance. They did give Attack on Titan a chance, and I think they really missed the boat on that. That was a rating machine right there if they would have put it next to Samurai Jack. But again, they either this contract they had with Toei, or they just idiotic now, they just don't care. Another one was, like I said, Attack on Titan, and another one was Black Clover. The problem is, try after Super. If it doesn't succeed after Super, move it back. Try it out. See. The problem is, you see, Dragon Ball fans only come for Dragon Ball, and they leave when it's over. And this is why I was kind of like, I don't want these two shows together, because the Dragon Ball fans, hate to say it like this, but you guys are if you're Dragon Ball fans out there, don't give a lot of other animes a chance. And there's so many good animes. And that's why I'm very iffy about the Dragon Ball community, because some people are like, oh, the Dragon Ball community is amazing. It is, and it isn't. The amazing part is it's good that we can all get along sometimes. The bad part is y'all don't give other animes a chance. And I noticed that. They don't. You bring up Yu Yu Hakusho, that's a fighting war right there. You bring up any other anime, that's wars right there, because they don't want to hear that. If it ain't Dragon Ball is the end all, the be all, which is not. And if you notice, Super is getting, a lot of people, Dragon Ball fans are getting real sick of Super. So, and that's divided fans too, because now the debate, back, like I said, a couple years ago, the argument was Z was better than Kai, and I'm still dealing with that argument. But now it's GT is better than Super, and now people are like, no, Super's better than GT. No, GT's better than Super. Now we're in this argument now. It's weird where the Dragon Ball fan base is divided on something property. Because before it was Dragon Ball versus Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball is better than Dragon Ball Z. People are like, yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's not. And then we went from Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Kai. And that argument will last forever. And I'm about to do a video later talking about my frustration with the final chapters. Not whole Kai, but the final chapters. But the biggest problem with Toonami right now is they need to sit down and figure out what can we do for these other animes. Because the thing about, if you sit down and you analyze it, Toonami's duking out all this money for these anime properties. And you're probably sitting there, well, that's good, right? Here's the bad part, ladies and gentlemen. Adult Swim is going to look at these ratings. And I love the 18 to 49 demographic folks out there. Say, oh, the 18 to 49 good. The 18 to 49 is good. Adult Swim's going to look at this. And if they see, like, oh, we only need Dragon Ball, they'll get rid of all those other animes. And they'll start cutting it up. Now, one of my friends and we were talking about it. He was like, what happens if Adult Swim is moving all the anime up, but you see slowly but surely that they start cutting the back off? And I said, that can happen. Another thing my friend was saying, because, this whole rumor going around, Adult Swim Junior, they said those shows might be coming before Toonami on Saturdays, which I see that happening. But I'm leaning more to the first one than the second one, but we'll see. We don't know yet. These are all speculations that me and my friend were just throwing balls like one another. We were just throwing shit together. But yeah, I mean, Toonami really, this formula, the Dragon Ball Hour formula, the Toonami Dragon Ball Hour formula, it's not working. It's not working. A lot of people are pissed off. Dub premiere shouldn't get this low of a rating. I understand the second episode. I understand the third. Hell, I understand the fourth. Because, again, that's when people will dip off. Hell, when I did a review, not review, but my discussion video over that, there was a lot of people say they did not like Black Clover, which I understand that. But people said they did watch it. And I'm like, okay, so where the fuck is the rating? Either they did or it's the drop-off. It's one of these things where Toonami needs to really sit down and say, you know what, we got Super, we don't need Kai. And I think that's where, to me, I felt like Toonami, when Toonami did a whole Dragon Ball Kai Hour last year, and they thought, oh, it was a huge success, and Adult Swim did see that too, and like, let's have Super and Kai together, not thinking this will be oversaturation with Dragon Ball, and not thinking how the fans will react to it. And they have done nothing other than oversaturate the block with Dragon Ball, to the point I am so sick of Dragon Ball. I'm sick of it now. I really am. And I can't even watch Super now as much as I used to, because I'm sick of it how Toonami's doing it. And then these marathons, like I remember like last year, Thanksgiving, they had no marathon, but this year they had a marathon on Dragon Ball Kai. That's when I know Adult Swim is getting too fucking greedy, and they're getting too fucking lazy, and I'm not liking the direction they're going. I wasn't a huge fan of Dragon Ball Kai opening the block last year, but at least it wasn't oversaturation. At least they gave balance. There's no balance this year. It's nothing but Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. If you ain't airing no goddamn movie, then I don't want to see Dragon Ball. You better show me some JoJo. You better show me some Tokyo Ghoul. Not a huge fan of it, I'll take it. Show me some fucking Gundam. You got Gundam, but you treat it like a goddamn stepchild. You got Black Clover. Okay, give that show some recognition. Because one, people are calling it the next Naruto. I don't think that, but you need to give that show some recognition. This bullshit of Dragon Ball needs to go. And you constantly keep doing this, this is going to keep turning fans off. You constantly keep doing this, this is going to turn people off. To the point where you will no longer have a fan base. A lot of people are already saying, myself included, they can't take it no more. And then when you see those Dragon Ball ratings, it's going to be like the Teen Titans Go effect. Each year, it's going to get less, and less, and you'll see a pattern. But I think the difference between Teen Titans Go and Super is Dragon Ball Super will probably be fine. But Kai, we'll see next year how Kai ratings do. But they're just going to get lower and lower. Now, I wish the marathons will get to 200,000 so these motherfuckers can get a fucking hint. But they're not. But hopefully they do. But these Dragon Ball fans are just, it is what it is. But as always, guys, like and subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.